Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Sincerely Lady C, where I am as sincere as possible with this crazy thing called life, with infertility, specifically IVF. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining the journey. Thank you for the texts, the phone calls, the gifts, the comments. Just thank you for all the support. I am kind of glad that I am open with my story, because I don't know if I could have been able to do this devastating turn of events completely by myself. I know that there was a time in this infertility journey where I suffered in silence. A lot of people didn't know that I was getting refills and getting shots and doing blood work every month within the first year of our marriage. And that lasted quite some time until I needed a break. So not a lot of people knew that I was suffering towards the beginning of our marriage. But that is in the past. But I'm more open with it. Sometimes I wish I wasn't, but other times when I find out that my story helped somebody else, it makes it all worth it. Really, this diary was for when I just want to look back and see everything that I've went through, or how I've grown up, or when the day that we do have a little baby Richmond and they are able to view their prequel a little bit, like a prequel, like before the movie sequel. Y'all know what I'm saying. But so their journey before their journey. So yeah, I wanted to do that so they can see everything that me and their father had to go through to get them here. But it evolved into something really nice, I guess. While I am going through this journey, it helps others, and if that's what it takes, hey, I'm here for it, and I'm gonna be as sincere as possible. But this diary entry is selfishly for me, telling myself later on how what actually changed my outlook of things, okay? And how the prayer kind of changed a little bit, and that maybe one day when I look back and I need a reminder, that I come to this page and it helps me to keep moving, or my little baby Richmonds helps my little baby Richmonds keep moving. So I wanted to share that. I did receive a phone call from my nurse, and she did tell me that my HCG levels were back to normal. It's an unfortunate event, but if they weren't back to normal, then there would be another whole slew of things to worry about. But everything passed normally. My biochemical pregnancy and miscarriage and all that information. I guess I'm back to normal. And there was something that I studied in the Bible that helped me, or changed my outlook, or shifted my prayers. And I wanted to share that in a diary entry. I've heard the story where David lost his baby, but I really hadn't studied it or applied it until now. I thought about it when I was sitting and listening to a speaker talk about David, and I thought about it, I was like, didn't David lose a baby too? So it was different circumstances how he lost the baby. I would go study that part, because that's not the part that I want to bring out, okay? But no, let me say that I am not a licensed minister, no theologian, no degree in Bible analytics. I guess that's the word. I don't have a degree in full Bible philosophy, Hebrew language, nothing, okay? I am just a young woman going through life, with the desire to know God a little bit more through this journey. And what I can reach for is my Bible and find out people that go through some things, how they reacted. And that's what I wanted to talk about, how David reacted when he lost the baby. In that text, I did not read what Bathsheba was doing for the 7 days. But the 7 days that the baby was sick, David fasted, prayed, and wept to the Lord for those 7 days. Towards the end of the text, he told his friends and servants, and they were like, for 7 days, your baby was alive and you wasn't doing anything but fasting and praying. And now that your baby's dead, he said, who knows whether God would be gracious and turn it around and allow my baby to live. So I think that's what everybody does in a devastating moment where they want something they really desire. But a report has shown that that desire is not going to be fulfilled medically, whatever, breakup, divorce, whatever. But in my case, a potential miscarriage. I think everybody goes to God in prayer and ask him to turn it around. Even folk that don't even know the Lord, that hadn't prayed in forever, will go into prayer and ask God to save a loved one that's on their deathbed or at that moment. Okay, but that's not what I really wanted to bring out. And that really changed what really changed my outlook is what David did after God did not allow him to keep his very desire, which was his child. When David got word, he asked the servants, he said that he heard him talking, and he said, is the baby dead? And they said, yes, the baby did die. It is at this moment where I was reading the text and I said, I want that posture that David had at that particular moment. Of course, he received some devastating news. Broke his heart, right? His very desire, God said, no, I'm not going to turn this around. So what do you do when the very thing that you're praying for, God has a different answer? What do you do? Everybody knows that you're supposed to praise your way through prayer, get closer to God. But this particular text showed me the posture that David was in after he found out that the very thing that he was requesting God to turn around, and God did not. After they said, no, the baby died, y'all, David got up, changed his clothes, anointed himself, and started worshiping God. David went to the temple and started worshiping God. Not praise, because when I looked at it, it wasn't praise. It was worship. There's a difference between praising God and a worship. But it was like right after they said, no, the baby did not make it, David got right on up, changed it all around, and he went to worship God. And I said, God, I need that. I need that posture of David right there at that particular moment. I need that spirit of David. I need it. I want that spirit where after anything, and it doesn't even need to be at this moment right now that we lost a baby boy embryo. At any devastating moment in my life, I would hope to have that spirit of David where when I get the news, I can wash myself off, anoint myself, and worship God. And then I said, that's that relationship piece. That's that relationship that worship, even in that crazy moment that God said, no, I can't give you what you desire right now, that I can still worship. Because I know, because David knew who God really was to him. He was still a miracle worker. He was still Alpha and Omega, okay? He was still the same God that he served before the baby died, and was still going to be the same God after. He had that relationship to where he could dust himself off and begin to worship God, even after God did not change it around. But then, that's the part that changed my outlook, that changed my prayer. Like, I need that spirit right there, that posture right there. But after that, he went to comfort Bathsheba, and guess what? They had Solomon, the next king, all right? And in the text, it said God loved him. So he had to get ready for his next season. Anyway, that's not the part that I actually got, but they kind of just came on in there. But that was a good word for me at that moment, even though the circumstances is different, but the same spirit of devastation, the same spirit of desiring something to change was there. So, Christine, if you are watching this and you probably going through another moment and you needed a reminder, go back to the text and see what David did at the moment of devastation. Right there at that particular text, that one. It'll change your outlook. Or if you are watching, if you are viewing, and there's something in your heart that you desire the most and God did not grant it, or there's something that you're praying for that the outcome could be a yes or the outcome could be a no. If that outcome does not come out how you want it, just remember what David did. It's that relationship part where he could get up, anoint himself, change his clothes, wash on up, get yourself back together, and go and worship God. And then get ready for a transition. That one came a little later, but I like it. Get ready for a transition. But thank you for joining. Thank you for joining the journey as I heal from the devastation. I'm going to keep on trying to be like David and get on up and worship God. For I still know that he is a miracle worker and he can do it. He's able. Now, don't y'all give up. Don't y'all leave me. Believe with us. And if you're going through something and God hasn't given it to you yet, or he's taken something away from you, go study that text. Study what David did. Keep on worshiping. All right, I'm over my time. I love y'all. Thank you for joining. I probably won't do a lot of edits for this one. Go ahead and subscribe. We're on our way. We're on our way to another transition. Okay, let me get off of this thing because doing this has brought me a little bit of something else too. We're on our way to transition to transfer number 2. I can't tell you when, but I got to go. I love y'all. Subscribe, like, comment, do what you do, but be sure you stay tuned.